Okay, you just go, you bring it up.
Well, today, guys, I think it's very appropriate that we open our podcast with a poem. This,
Our TV show of the year podcast, to be clear,
that it's starting with a poem.
is
yeah,
starting with a
yeah,
poem.
this is author unknown, except for I have a pretty good guess of who it is. And it's called The Sentence. And this was found on our group Google Drive. And I just have to read it for you guys because it's pretty incredible.
Mm-hmm.
All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I am very, very weird, so you should know that. You're probably wondering what I'm doing. Well, I'm trying to make a really, really, really long sentence. Got that? Okay, let's talk about. Ha ha, did you get the joke? If you didn't, then I'm not telling you because it is hard, so dot dot dot. I like pancakes. They are yummy. Yay. Ha 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 ha. Well, I'm getting bored, so I will end this sentence. Goodbye.
Well, sometimes you just leave your Google Doc thing signed in under yourself, and your 9-year-old hops in and writes a sentence.
All right.
I was like,
Awesome.
what is
Awesome.
it took me a minute to piece it together, but yeah.
I didn't know that. So that was on our docs?
Yeah.
Huh. All right.
Was this an existing document, Caleb?
No,
or was it a fresh document?
It's a new document called The Sentence.
It's fantastic, Logan.
Only my child. And with that, welcome to the Master of Unlocking podcast.
That's great. That's really
It's
good.
a celebration. It's our TV show of the year. So
Mhm.
only fitting we start off with whatever that was. With the sentence.
The Sentence.
We do have one food challenge for the week that we will hit here right before we get into things. So that food challenge was the firecracker chicken from Panda Express. I just had this. So I've had my wisdom teeth pulled this week, so my bottom two wisdom teeth.
Oh no.
So eating food, I probably should have had this before, because I just had it tonight. I'm 5 days post out, but I'm also a little too old to have my wisdom teeth out at this point. That was hot.
I didn't think it was hot.
Mine was
It
super
just
spicy.
the peppers themselves were really hot, but if you didn't eat those, then everything else was not very hot. I just didn't like the taste very much, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's probably my least favorite thing I've had at Panda. I usually like their stuff, and this did not do anything for me.
Huh. Jason, what do you get? What were your thoughts on it?
Salty.
Very salty.
Fine. Salty. Fine. It was all right. I wouldn't get it again. I'm closer to Caleb, I guess. And I thought mine was a little spicy. Yeah, but I like hot stuff. Okay.
Yeah, I was okay until the last, I don't know, probably 3 bites I took. So it must have been toward the bottom of the bucket there, and all of a sudden
You probably ate one of the actual peppers that was in there, and those things are. I ate one of those by accident, and it was very hot.
maybe that's what I didn't know there was like a specific hot pepper in there. Maybe that's what I did, and that took me out. I had to just gurgle with some milk for a little bit.
I was gonna say, at least
was
why you have milk in the house, so you could just
like, oh my god,
dunk your head in a bowl of milk.
that was rough. But it was good up until then. I mean, it was if I'm rating it, I'm giving it a 6. So
I'm a 4.
okay,
Yeah.
maybe I was just excited to eat something other than applesauce and pudding like I've been eating all week. So maybe that was why.
Well, how do you feel about a spicy chicken sandwich from Chick-Fil-A?
I love those. Those are
Okay.
I love spicy chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A.
This is a grilled spicy chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A.
I'll try it. I'll mess one up. It's new.
Starting tomorrow.
Okay.
Done.
So you're telling me I'm gonna maybe not go with my full 2,000 calories at Chick-fil-A? Like I'm only gonna get 1,800 this time?
Right.
Why don't you get both?
Well,
and then
who knows
overcome
what's
that
on
problem?
this? It has a cilantro lime sauce, so who knows how many calories are in that, but
It's probably not as much as the breading, that's for sure. But
yeah, that sounds like a fatty aioli, but nothing like actual breading.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless they fry the aioli and put it on like a crispy fried ring of aioli.
Now you're
imagine
talking.
that, like
Aioli
a
rings?
mozzarella, like a
Ooh.
mozzarella mayonnaise stick. Ugh.
I don't know,
I mean,
man.
we're
like
on to
you-
something, I think.
You bite into it and this just shoots out aioli.
That could be a thing.
Well,
Yeah,
then
I think that
we
sounds
need
good.
to start over, stop the recording. We need to go make $1 million and come back.
I know, right? Yeah, don't let anyone hear this discussion. So
It's just between us and our huge listener base.
I know, right? Okay. All right. So firecracker chicken wasn't so firecrackery. Oh my. Sorry, I just have the football game on in the background and I looked up and somebody just got pancaked really bad. So it's our TV show of the year celebration. So the TOTYs, no, not the Goaties, the TOTYs.
The TOTYs!
The TOTYs. I should have got like a hat or like a party hat, something to put on here.
I feel like we need like an applause. Like, and I'm your host, Logan. It's the TOTYs.
If I was feeling better, I probably would be a little more excited about this, but my jaw just hurts. So
Bastard.
I know.
Damn so we are tabling Game Talk this week.
Correct.
Right? Okay.
So we are going to go straight. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even play a video game this week. Wait, no, I did finish Mortal Kombat Aftermath, but that was like 30 minutes of video games that I played this week. I tried my best to get as caught up as I could on TV. So I'm about 99.7% caught up. I'll get to that 0.3% that I'm missing here in a minute, but so let's kind of get down to it. So should we start with scripted? The host has disabled screen sharing.
Oh.
Jeez.
It's the TOTYs.
You know what? Best TOTYs award show production does not go to.
Try it again.
All right, there we go. Okay.
Wow, why does it always go full screen? I hate that.
Oh, it is? That's weird. Okay, so we have our scripted category. I see Caleb has his whole tab there with like early cuts. So this is what we work off of. You know, we're showing how the sausage is made here.
You're right. This is some IP we're showing here.
I know, right? It's a spreadsheet. We go through and we've got our entire scripted list alphabetically sorted here. As you can see, we have a lot of different letters next to everything. The F is for finished. The C is for currently watching. The S is for stopped watching. So these are all shows that they either started or finished in 2020, right? Because we do have some shows that started in 2019 but ended in 2020. We have
if it aired at all in 2020, it is eligible.
On this list, right? Yeah, that's kind of the how this list can be done. So yes, there is a possibility that some things could cross years, but who cares? It's our list. So I don't even know. I don't know if I want to read all these off because that's a lot of shows to read off. We've got 59 TV shows here. Caleb, as you can see, has watched a large portion of those TV shows. So
yeah, there's like 20 or so on that other tab too that I was just like, I don't even care about talking about those.
Good with
so
just
I'll
cutting these.
Yep.
I'll just
put them there.
So they're not even on here. Okay, so Caleb also has 20 shows. If you watch here, if you look here, he has watched a lot of shows.
I watched one of those shows.
I'm looking to see if I watched any of these.
Do you care about it? Does it need to go back on the list?
Logan, you watch The Connors, don't you? No.
No.
Oh, okay.
There is not a single sitcom on network television that I watch currently.
Well, I watch a lot of those.
God. That's why they're on this page, Caleb.
Right.
You know it. I watched half of Big Sky. That's it. Half of an episode of Big Sky. Whew, it's in the right spot.
Yeah.
All right. We're just going to leave that list where it is then. It can stay there. All right. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to go through and I'm going to start making some cuts. Unless you guys want to do anything else.
You guys want to do the rotational cuts?
Yeah, let's do the rotational cuts. Yep.
Okay, Logan, go ahead.
A teacher. that show. I watched one episode. It
You
was
should
bad.
probably just move the row so it's not lost to time forever.
Oh, fine. Like you mean hide the row?
No, just like move it to the bottom or something. Or move it to another tab. I don't know. What's easiest?
Okay. I'll just move it to the bottom then.
There you go. Easy enough.
Okay. All right. There you go. Okay, Caleb, I'll let you. Or no, Jason, Caleb, you made 20 cuts. Jason, you made a cut.
For the benefit of our listeners, though, you should probably at least say what you just cut.
Oh, sorry. I cut a teacher. I thought I said it, and then
You did.
Oh,
you
okay.
did. And then we talked about the spreadsheet.
I said I watched one episode of it. It's not good.
That's on. Wait,
on
hold on. Is it their Hulu exclusive?
It's an FX Hulu exclusive, which makes absolutely no sense. It should
Kate Mara's hot.
Kate Mara is hot, but that is all that show is going
she's
for.
She's an attractive woman.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to cut from this list. Fine. Bosch. Let's cut Bosch. Bosch is really good. It's the best CBS procedural that's not on CBS. It's better than any of those shows and does it really well. Like old school detective drama that I really, really like. That is a Prime exclusive. And I don't recommend that either of you guys watch it. We've talked about it a lot. But I will say, if you watched it, you wouldn't hate it. I'm super confident in that. It is like ultra watchable, good quality TV. You just kind of have to like where it came from, which is like the 80s and 90s network detective drama is where it comes from. But it's how am I trying to it's an R-rated version of that, right? It's it's not hold to those network standards, if you will, and I mean that in a bad way.
The only reason that I did not move Hoops to the early cuts was because Logan apparently watched some of that.
It's terrible.
I was just gonna say, I can imagine, since you didn't finish it, even.
I watched 2 episodes, and that show, I did look and identify that was this year's lowest rated Metacritic show.
You know, I don't think that show is terrible. I don't think it's good, but I don't think it's terrible.
I think it's trying too hard.
Fine. Yeah.
All right. That is good to know. I was going to cut that show next if you didn't. So all right, let's see. I think I will cut Saturday Night Live. That show continues to be what that show is, a political parody that has a couple of good YouTube hits every once in a while that is, hey, check out this one funny thing that SNL did out of the hour and a half of TV that they do. And they're lucky to get one of those an episode. So that is where SNL is and probably will be in perpetuity.
Who's up? Am I
it's
up
me.
again? Oh, okay.
No, it's me. Isn't it me? It's me. Me? Ray Donovan. Ray Donovan can go. This season was okay. That show is fine.
I feel like that's the same thing every season that you say is.
It's
like,
fine. Yeah, because it's way better than a lot of other stuff on TV, which keeps me with it. Like I watch it because of Liam Schreiber is excellent, and his father is played by Angelina Jolie's father.
Crazy man.
Why. Yeah, I can't remember why.
I can't think of his name either.
John Voight. Sorry, it took me a second. But then Showtime was acquired, and they literally aren't going to have the opportunity to finish it, which is why I'm like, no matter how good the season was, I would be bummed out that they're not going to see an end. 6 seasons, and you can't let them finish the 7th. Like, people must have not been watching it, so it can go. But rip Ray Donovan, good show.
All right.
Wait, I had one and then I lost it. What was I gonna say?
I don't know.
Oh, apparently you didn't finish Central Park either, which means that you probably didn't like it.
No, I did not like that show either.
That can go. I think it's got some potential there. I don't think it ever really met it. I think there was a couple of really good songs. They try the musical thing, I think, a little too much. And I understand that's kind of the point of the show, but I don't know. I kind of just want to see that family, in their normal lives without bursting into song all the time.
That show had everything I thought I would like, and then when I watched it, it was not anything I liked. I don't know what it was about it, but it just never clicked with me. It's my turn, isn't it? I'm going to. Caleb, I'm gonna have to check with you on this one. Are you good with cutting the Babysitters Club?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
The
just
only
double
reason I
checking.
didn't cut that is because you were on it.
That show
I'm
was
actually pretty
fine.
surprised that you watched that.
I have a 9-year-old daughter
That's
who
true.
reads the Babysitters Club books, so parts of that got a little adult for a 9-year-old, but I'm glad I at least watched it with her to go through some of that stuff. It
I
wasn't like,
watched that show to literally kill time while I was laying on the couch sick.
Oh,
And it was
okay.
perfectly fine for that purpose.
yeah, it's a fine show, and I think she liked it. It was, but it's definitely probably directed for more like a 12-year-old versus a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was actually not bad. I would not say it is. I was not offended by that show by any means. Jason, you got anything?
Yeah, I got a few things on here that you guys didn't watch, probably. Just oh, there it is.
Mm.
I
What?
love watching people get murdered in Montana.
I know.
So good, so good. It can
I thought
go.
you didn't like Big Sky.
The good one, not the bad one. The good
Oh,
one.
come on. They're both bad.
Yeah, fine. That's like it's got to be my guilty pleasure of the year. Yellowstone has to be, but it's still like it's still above a certain tier of television for sure. It's just like it's trying to be something that it just that's what hurts it when it tries to like be that next step above and it just like swing and a miss, swing and a miss, swing and a miss. It'll never be by the even in our top 20. It'll never be at the level of those shows, but it does what it does fairly well.
Yeah. Caleb, do you want to maybe knock a couple off the list here since you got a lot? We've got a lot of gaps here.
Let's go. You can cut Miracle Workers.
Okay.
That's fine. I think that show had a pretty good, actually funny season, but it's not something I'm gonna be.
Gonna push for.
Yeah.
I don't even know what network that's on.
TBS.
It's on TBS.
Oh, I do know that one now.
Very funny.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, okay. I do know the show now. Yeah. It's the anthology comedy, right?
Yeah.
Miracle
So
Workers.
different
Yeah, okay,
setup
got it.
every season.
Yeah, Buscemi, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I got it.
You can also probably cut Letterkenny. I like that show a lot. I know you guys don't. So
I've never watched it, to be fair.
I tried it. I tried it. I couldn't get into it. That was, not this season, obviously, but other seasons.
I think that show is super smart as a comedy, but yeah, it's not gonna. What else? Go ahead and cut Great Pretender. That's fine too. This is an anime series about a group of con artists that I think is really good, but it's not.
Crunchyroll? Where could I see that if I wanted to see it?
No, that's a Netflix show actually.
Great Pretender is a Netflix show?
Yeah.
How many episodes?
24.
Oh wow, a lot of them too. Okay.
Yeah.
I watched the first season of Castlevania. I don't know if the second season was 2020 or not. Maybe I missed my window there, but that's another.
I think it was. Yeah.
Was it a 2020 show? Yeah.
I
shoot.
Don't know. No, I don't think so. I think Castlevania was a 2019 show.
Season 2 was 2019.
Yeah, I think it started in 2018.
Okay.
So
Logan, do you think that Normal People has a shot of making our top 10?
No.
Okay, let's cut that then.
Nope.
We talked a lot about that on the podcast.
We did,
already,
and I have
I like the idea of that show. I had to make a different choice this week, so I chose.
If you have time at some point to watch like the first episode or something, not pushing for a TOTY thing, just like if there's nothing to watch right now, it might be worth a viewing, just to get an idea.
I think I'll ask you guys later on, but the show I picked, I think we all three really like. So hopefully I'm right about that. We'll see if my decision shakes out there. But I'll hold that to see if I'm correct.
Okay.
That's a tease for
I
those
know.
of you in the radio business.
Oh, I got a tease. I got a tease coming up too. So
Ooh,
I'm
yeah,
excited.
okay.
Okay. Looking through here. What about Emily and Perry? Emily and Perry.
Paris.
Paris.
Because yeah, that's how it's supposed to be according to the showrunners. That show is basically just Sex in the City and a modern Sex in the City in Paris. Um,
It's fine.
it's fine.
That showrunner does another show called Younger that I think
Mm.
is way better.
Mm.
It just didn't have a season this past year. So
Yep. It was fine. I watched it with my wife. I mean, it was something to watch before bed to
yeah,
do whatever. Like it was
there's not a whole lot of like conflict in it ever, which is a
no,
little
like it tried to be the Devil Wears Prada at some points, and then was kind of like, well, but we're not going to go all the way with that.
yeah.
So yeah, it was fine. All right, Jason, you got anything?
I surely have something on here. Just let me look.
I have a few more things that you
Okay.
can quickly just get rid of. Solar Opposites and Space Force, they're actually right next to each other, so that makes that easy. Solar Opposites is kind of a worse version of Rick and Morty.
Mm.
Oh
And
God.
Space Force, I probably should have just
Sorry.
put on my early cuts list because it's not very good.
Space Force is not the. That's Avenue. That's
Yeah,
not the Hugh Laurie one.
Right. Space Force is the Steve Carell one.
Steve Carell one. Okay.
Did any of us watch that one, the Hugh Laurie HBO
That was
show?
last year. I'm pretty sure.
It was?
I watched the first episode.
I
And
think
I thought
so.
it was horrible.
Maybe
I never
not. It
watched
might have been.
I think
this
it was
year.
the 2020
Was it early this
show.
year?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it
Caleb
was,
said it was bad. So
I did
watch
not
it.
like it at all, but
Mm-mm.
I'm not sure how it was received. Otherwise, maybe you shouldn't take my word for it.
Oh, I see one. I see bad one. The
What's
Haunting of Bly Manor is bad. It's a bad TV show.
Okay.
That should go. The first season of that show is good. I hope that they make more good hauntings.
Mhm.
But if they continue to go downhill, oh my God, if it goes downhill anymore, it would be like, oh, I can't imagine it being any worse.
Right.
Wow. That'd be bad TV. Ooh, bad Halloween TV.
Bad
No.
Halloween TV.
You could also cut at the bottom of this list.
Mhm.
Can you scroll down a little bit?
Mhm.
You can cut Upload and Utopia.
Oh,
Another twofer there. I think both of those shows are good. I don't think they're great. So
I want to watch Utopia. It's still on my list. I think I might like that show okay.
Apparently the British version that came out like 10 years ago or something is like really, really good. So it got a lot of hate because it's not nearly as good as that one. But
You'll
I
have
still
that.
enjoyed it. But
I'd like to know the reverse of that real quick because I always feel like because we're living in the United States, we always hear of the bad remake. Like this was on the BBC 20 years ago. Here's the remake and it's terrible, but that one's good. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I want to know what we imported over there that was better here because I never hear that story. I never hear it that way. I got the other Showtime show I could probably cut. Homeland. I really like Homeland, but if Logan didn't watch it, then it's got no chance at actually making our final list. But the final season of Homeland's good.
It's on my list to get caught up on Homeland. That is I'm finishing a couple of other shows and then it's to Homeland because there's really not anything else out there right now to.
I think you would like it.
I think I will
It's
too.
good.
Yeah, it's like I said. So I'm never going to discount it, but I'm just not going to have it done by this.
And even push come to shove, Logan, if we both liked it, there are
better shows.
Making a top 10 here is going to be hard. It's going to be hard.
Can I nominate something that our first show that all of us watched that I think needs to be cut?
Yeah, sure.
Fargo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Fargo.
Man, what a bummer.
I know,
the season's okay, but I mean, it's just not where, like, that's like S tier television. Those first 3 seasons, man.
Yeah, I wanted to do that, but I stopped. So I was like that. I let you guys.
Did you guys
call?
Spoiler ahead because this is the. TOTYs.
Oh yeah, many spoilers.
How far did you guys get in Fargo?
There was 10 episodes, right?
There's 11.
I finished it.
11.
I finished it.
I stopped at
Caleb finished
6
it.
or 7. Yeah.
Caleb, where she somehow summons the dead guy, like the dead
So
soldier.
weird.
Yeah, and I thought that was going to mean something, and then it totally didn't. Logan,
Mm.
did you see Tim Oliphant's character
Hmm.
die? Okay,
No.
no.
Wait, did I? No.
So I can't remember. Do you remember where the Spectre shows up for the first time, Caleb? Is it there or is it earlier on?
I don't remember.
There's a ghost that shows up, and horrible things happen around this ghost. And he saves Chris Rock's daughter from the nurse, the crazy nurse. This ghost does, and so I thought that Chris Rock's daughter held sway over the ghost and was going to use it to save him at the end, and then like it was like the spaceship from season 2. Like it happened, never explained, gone, which I think is kind of interesting. Like that's probably what I like about Fargo the most. And then also, did you guys put together that Chris Rock's son is I can't remember his name from season 2 from Kansas City, the African American guy who brings the twins from Kansas City.
Mhm.
That's Chris Rock's son, for you to know, Logan. The
Okay.
boy who is exchanged.
Oh, like his real life son?
He's the character from season 2 who
Oh.
brings the twins from Kansas City. You remember season
Yeah.
2 where they
Mhm.
talk about Kansas City coming in, and then
Mhm.
it's the black guy who comes in from Kansas City
Mhm.
with the crazy twins? That's him. That's
Huh.
Chris Rock's son. So that story happens. Then Fargo season 2 as he's an adult. There you go. That's how
Okay.
they're tied together.
Interesting. All right.
Oh, and the tornado took that guy. That was weird too.
Okay, you can cut
Mhm.
Tower of God, which is another anime. It's very good, but
What network again, Caleb? Just
that
because I'm
one
curious.
is a Crunchyroll original.
Crunchyroll,
which
okay.
is one of their first original shows.
Okay.
I hope that show gets more seasons because there are a ton of questions left over. But
I'm glad you voted to keep this list around because I may look at it later when there's, like Logan said, no pressure on what to watch.
Yeah.
you could probably also remove The Great. I think that show's really good.
That
it's
Hulu?
Yeah, that's Hulu. It's very sharp and witty.
That's about Catherine the Great, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was
like
gonna watch
her-
that, but I was coming off of the bad HBO show.
Oh
Did you either guys watch that?
no.
Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's not good. I think that was last year. Maybe it was. No, it was last year. Yeah.
Two other shows here that are quick cuts, I think. Rick and Morty and The Simpsons are both just more of Rick and Morty and The Simpsons.
Oh, I did not cut that off, but yeah, Simpsons this year hasn't been too bad. There's been other recent seasons have been kind of just phoning it in, but this season's been all right. There was a couple real good
the
episodes.
podcast episode, I think, was the standout this season. I think that was really good.
That and the Christmas show, the Hallmark episode were I made my wife watch the podcast episode because she's really into murder podcasts, so I was like, you've got to see this.
Yeah.
Like it's every once in a while that show, will put something together that's like, man, Simpsons is still good. Like there's all these years later. Caleb, what do you think about taking The Good Place out of here?
Yeah, we can. It's probably
The
the
weakest
only
season,
show on
right?
this list that made me cry.
Oh, really?
But other than that,
See,
yeah, just Cheaty's
final
at the end,
speech.
that just got me.
I will say the last episode was good, but I thought the rest of this season was pretty weak.
Yeah, I think you're right. That last episode will stick with me, but I don't think anything else from this season will. So
Yeah,
you're right.
I just couldn't see it ultimately making a top 10. That's why I'm like, let's just go ahead and move it out of there. As a whole, that show was great.
Yes.
Yeah, but season 4 was just like, okay, like I almost wish they would have done 3 seasons in a movie. versus
Right.
4 seasons.
Do you guys feel like Perry Mason belongs on this list?
No.
No. That's fine. That
Yeah.
show's good.
Yeah, I from what I remember hearing you guys talk about, you think it was good, but I don't know if you
Good but not
necessarily think
great.
it's gonna. Yeah,
A lot of good performances, a lot of good stuff, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
ultimately,
it's more the story arc that's the problem in that show than the performances. It just
Yeah.
kind of gets a little bit silly at the end.
yeah, the stuff with the
They're going for it, but it's
yeah,
just not hitting.
they almost threw too much stuff in there at once, and then kind of just forgot that, oh hey, we threw all this stuff in there, and let's try to wrap it up really fast. You guys think Moonbase 8 makes a top 10 here?
Nope.
oh man, I love that show, but you guys don't. So
Mhm.
Yeah, Caleb, I think that show's okay, but even if I really love that show, to be fair, like our collective top 10, it would have to really take out some heavy hitters along
Yeah.
the way.
I think
Yeah.
that's where we're getting to. We're down to 32 on this list, and now it's
32.
and
Jeez.
and now we're starting to think what could really make a top 10 here. And
You can.
I can start going after some shows I watched individually if you guys want. Caleb, do you have anything?
There are, I think, 2 more that I think are easy cuts for me,
Okay,
and then you can go.
then let's get to the meat of it.
Teenage Bounty Hunters can go.
What the hell is that?
So it's so I just had to look it up to confirm, but the original title for that show is Slutty Teenage Bounty Hunters, which is way
Oh,
better.
okay. No,
Much
now it's in
better.
the top 10. Lock it in. Top 10.
It's a Netflix show. It's 2 twins that get wrapped up in bounty hunting. And it has a lot of like it's also set in southern states, so like there's a lot of conservatism going on, a lot of racism and stuff like that. It's really good. I think probably the best comparison I can make is like a Veronica Mars, but it's not nearly on that level. So it's already been canceled. So I can't really.
Oh, okay.
The other one that I could cut quickly would be Search Party, which I think is a fantastic show, but being as it's extremely spoiler heavy if I were to describe it, and I don't want to do that.
The entire run of that is on HBO Max, right?
Yeah.
How many seasons?
There's 4 now. Well, they're
Four.
in season 4 now.
Okay. 3 on TBS, and then this is the first on HBO Max, right?
2 on TBS.
Oh,
1 on
okay.
HBO Max. And now this one's also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we are down to 30. I think if we could try to get this down to a top 20, I'd be pretty happy with hard cuts.
Fuck.
I mean,
I know,
the one you're hovering over right now, Superstore, you can cut. I mean,
Oh, okay.
it's a weak season, especially they lost.
I know you like that show a
Ferrera,
lot.
so it's fine, but
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of crying, we can cut. I know this much is true. That hurts.
Wow, really?
But I think there are other shows on this list that I would like to make stronger arguments for.
To push for a collective top 10.
Yeah, because for the things that we all watched, and I noticed like my top 10 is made up 70% of it is stuff you guys didn't watch, and that's fine. But that's one of them that I waffled just because of the density of this year, whether or not it would make my top 10. And so it did make it, but I think it's 9 or 10. I can't remember. Okay. The show is very good. I mean, it's some of this year's best drama for sure. But I'm the only one that watched it.
I just noticed that Brooklyn Nine-Nine is still there. Same situation. Decent season, nothing special.
I, what Jason? I'm assuming is based on your reaction last week. Little fires everywhere. Probably good to fall off this list.
Sure.
Show's all right, but I don't think it's going to make a top 10.
You'd have to scroll a long ways
I
now to get to the
know.
bottom of that.
Yeah, it's getting out of control. I'm gonna have to move. I'm gonna start putting them in different spots here and inserting rows.
So you guys both, I think, watched a little bit of Akudama Drive, but
I
did not
never
finish
finished it. No,
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I was like the first. I think I got the first 3 or 4 episodes, and it's fine. For me, it was like, okay, I need to focus to watch that show because it's in Japanese, and I don't have time to watch a show that can focus on.
Yeah. It starts out way stronger than it finishes.
Oh, really? Because it starts strong.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of a
There you
bummer to
go.
hear, but it belongs there. Done.
All right, we're down to a top 25. That's good, right?
Yeah. Is there anything else here that I just don't care about? Well, there is, but
There's stuff I don't care about either. Yeah, but like, obviously, yeah, we've got.
I'm looking.
Is Joe Pera Talks with You that good?
it really is. But you can take it off.
Okay.
If I'm gonna fight for an Adult Swim show, it's not going to be that.
Okay. You
that
told us to watch a
okay.
different Adult Swim show.
Yeah, that show, Joe Pera was, with the exception of The Good Place, the closest that I came to crying during a TV show this year.
Really?
That surprises me. That's something I didn't think you would say.
And that, yeah, I know nothing of that show at all.
So I'll just, since this is spoilers, we're flying here. So
Right, yeah.
basically the whole show is like, Joe Pera will pick a topic and then talk about it for 15 minutes. And it's usually very like a very mundane topic. But he makes it entertaining just because he's an entertaining guy. In one of the episodes, he decides to make the movie Rat Race.
Mm-hmm.
He decides to make a rat race for his friends in the neighborhood, and he finds out in the middle of the race that his grandmother died. So he's having to try to balance doing the race with the feelings that he has of his grandma, and it's rough.
Wow. I bet that made it more compelling than that originally was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are tough cuts.
Logan, do you feel The Mandalorian belongs on this list?
The Mandalorian had a really good episode.
It had one good episode.
And then a bunch of okay episodes.
Right.
I mean, I've got other stuff I would cut off of this before that, but not, I mean, great. I mean, at the same time, if it's not going to make a top 10, then let's just get rid of it then.
Yeah.
I'm fine with
I think that one should probably go. I want that show to be better than it is.
It's perfectly fine. Like that's the way I am. The way I feel about it is I am entertained enough by that show to watch it and enjoy it, and for what it is. I just don't get. I don't get the hype. Like it's a fine show.
Yeah.
Fine. That's. I know this is getting
the
tough.
other things on the list that I would want to cut. I think one or the other of you will fight against.
Yeah, and I'm looking at stuff and I'm thinking, okay, well, is it really going to make a top 10 if only one person watched it?
Is the flight attendant's not going to make this list, is it?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd beat out a lot of other things I'm looking at right now, I guess. That's my only thought.
I think that might be the weakest show left on this list.
Your opinion.
Yeah. I think we've all watched it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm with
okay.
Caleb that I would listen to you. I would listen to you guys.
So
I would listen to your guys' feelings on other shows I haven't seen. If you feel like nope, that's better than the flight attendant.
I guess I'm thinking of this as a collective list versus a what is truly better. Because, I mean,
So does that mean, Logan, that you think we should drop everything that only one or two of us watched?
I'm thinking I'm just looking right now, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4 shows that only one person watched.
you can okay. So what I'll do there? What's left that only I've watched?
That's probably me.
Pen
It's not you,
15 and
Caleb.
Pen 15 and Primal are only Caleb, and the Good
Okay.
Lord Bird and the Plot Against America are the only things for Jason.
So what I'll do here is I'll cut Primal because even though I love that show, because I would fight harder for Pen 15 than I would Primal.
What is Primal? I don't
Primal's
even know
on
what that is.
it's an animated show on Adult Swim. It's by the guy that did Samurai Jack.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Oh,
about
awesome.
a caveman and a dinosaur, so historically accurate for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But there's
Does
no
he ride the
dialogue.
dinosaur?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
There's no dialogue at all in this show. It's
Okay.
just, but it still manages to be like super emotional and intense, even though there's no dialogue. Similar to Samurai Jack. So I think that show's really good. But if you had me pick between that and Pen 15, I would for sure pick Pen 15.
And I guess I tried the first season of Pen 15 and didn't like it. That was my thought on Pen 15. So I didn't watch season 2 because I didn't like season 1.
Yeah.
I think it is fine to cut the Plot Against America because of the argument that Logan makes. I think that show is very, 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 very good. And I think it's a shame that it's leaving, but I'm
Was
the
it-
only one that watched it.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant like it was leaving, like it was like they're not making a season 2. I was like, wait.
Well, they're not. It was,
Okay,
it was a
I was like, wait a minute. I
miniseries.
thought it was a miniseries.
No, that it's departing this list. I think.
Oh,
is a
okay, that it's
shame.
departing this list.
But that's the way the cookie crumbles.
And if you guys are already talking about getting rid of the flight attendant, it would rank higher for me. But if it's not going to make the top 10, then I guess it just needs to go now. If you guys are feeling that way about it.
I have a hard time arguing against that because I don't think it's as good as a lot of the stuff that's on here. But
Yeah, same.
All right.
I would rather. Okay, here we go. Hold on.
Okay.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
As I think critically here,
Mm-hmm.
let's look in the column of. Let's start looking in the column of what we all watched.
Mm-hmm.
And
Like a collective of like all three of us
Yeah.
watch this. Okay, so there's 1, 2,
Before we do
3,
something that
4,
maybe-
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
Man.
11, 12. There's only 12 shows that all three of us watched.
There you go. Like the flight attendant is close, but it probably doesn't make it. But where are we all at on? And I'm not picking on you, Caleb, but where are you, Beef House Collective? We all finished it. Logan doesn't like it. I like it. You really like it.
Whoa! Who said I didn't like the Beef House?
Oh, you don't? I thought you didn't like it.
No. You're thinking Betty.
No, I know you don't like Betty.
No, Beef
I'm
House,
very aware.
No.
You like Beef House, Caleb? Hold on, Logan. Shh.
Yeah, sorry.
Caleb, you get the vibe that he liked Beef House? You got that vibe that he liked Beef House?
I didn't get a vibe one way or another from him, so
Yeah,
Good job, Switzerland. Good job, Canada.
Yeah. I didn't. Yeah, I guess that's the thing. I definitely wasn't like, oh my god, this show is amazing. But I also definitely didn't say that it was bad.
Okay. I will say I would be amazed if it makes our top 10. Having said that, I told my wife as I went downstairs, she goes, "Hey, you gonna go podcast?" "Yeah, me and the Beef Boys are gonna go podcast." And she's like, "What?" I was like, "Nothing."
I can guarantee you at some point in your life from now on, you'll say, I am bunged up. At some point, you'll just be
You're
like, yeah,
probably
I'm all
right.
bunged up right now.
That made an impression on me.
Yeah, I I definitely would
Oh
watch a
God, who
season
are
or two of
we?
this.
What does it say about us if the Beef House makes our top 10?
It means that
Ugh.
we're very cultured and open-minded individuals.
I will be when season 2 rolls around of Beef House, I will be watching it. That is for sure. I would keep Beef House over Betty.
This is going to be the most absurd sentence you've ever said in your life, Logan, by the way.
I know, right?
No matter what comes out of your mouth next.
Um,
I don't think you can
Yeah.
say that like
Yeah.
we always do a weird like this thing versus this thing, and it never makes sense, you
because it's
know.
always TV
And
is so different.
but
It's
for me, it's like what I generally try to do is judge how successful a show is at doing what it's trying to do. And I think Beef House 100% succeeds in what it's trying to do, as
yes.
opposed to I think with a couple of other shows on this list that I think have some it's hard to compare, but they go for some stuff and they don't quite make it.
Mhm.
So I
Or
don't know if
it doesn't hit with you for whatever reason. And
yeah,
that's the other thing. I think, Pen 15 was going for something that didn't quite hit with me. And for whatever reason that show, I think it missed me by the slight difference in age gap that you and I have, which isn't much. I think that's where it hit.
yeah, probably,
And
probably,
so I think that's part of it because it was like, hey, you grew up in the 90s, da 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 da, and like early 2000s, like teenagers, and it like really like hits on that AOL Instant Messenger world. And you know what? I just missed that world. Like
yeah,
just missed it. Um, so I think that's where some of that culture stuff misses for me. But at the same time, for you, it hits and it hits hard.
right, yeah,
So I get that, and I think even too as we're looking at this, we're looking at it and going, you know, there's some stuff here that hits hard on the heavy drama and does well for it's going to win awards for those type of things. But there's also things that keeps I guess my award is going to be what was the most entertaining for me, not what was the best acted, what was the best written, the best everything else. It's for me, it's what met my entertainment quota, what filled my entertainment cup to the fullest.
and in that sense, I think maybe Logan, we should cut Saved by the Bell.
That's fair.
Because I think the first couple episodes really stumbled to make that impression, and I think the only reason it's on this list is because we, for whatever reason, decided to stick with it, and it does end up where it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like an entertainment quota, like you said, those first 2 episodes really turned me off. So
Yeah, but it did. It finished well, but is it going to make a top 10 here? No.
yeah,
No, but
yeah.
did I enjoy it? Yeah.
Of this list that we're on, let me make sure before I say this. There's only one show that I think I just don't like,
Mm-hmm.
and that's Lovecraft Country.
And I think Jason
Everything else I
yeah.
either like or I don't care about.
And I would say Jason and I probably really like Lovecraft Country. No, you don't really like Lovecraft Country?
I like Lovecraft Country.
I think it's a complete mess.
I like that show.
Yeah.
I just have a hard time. I'm having a hard time with like.
I think that if to me, if Lovecraft Country goes, Betty goes, because it's a show that I actively dislike, but you like.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know.
Caleb and I love that show. You don't like that show,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Lovecraft Country is just okay, but you're the only one that's really likes it.
Okay, I didn't realize you guys were both super high on it. I knew you guys both liked it. I didn't know.
What if we cut both though? What if we cut both of those? Because
no.
well, I mean, because it's always hard to have something in a top 10 that one of us actually didn't.
Okay, fine.
No,
if we're gonna cut Betty,
I wouldn't say. I'm not saying we cut Betty. I'm saying it should just be in the same category. Like, so I don't think we should.
Okay, so let's leave them both on for now.
I think we should leave them both on. Yeah, I think we should
Okay.
leave them both on, and maybe they just fall lower in the top 10. I don't.
Okay,
I'm not advocating to cut Betty yet.
Okay, let me get rid of something that I watched. I watched.
Mhm.
I will say this, and I don't play this card often, but I
Mm.
will say this. In our proceedings, we did Succession dirty one year because I was the only one that watched it.
Mhm.
And if we reordered that list,
Oh yeah,
Succession would have been
much
way
higher.
higher. But it didn't make our top 10 because I'm the only one that watched it.
Mhm.
Having said that, let's cut the crown.
You've been trying to get us to watch The Crown for years,
Yeah.
and it just hasn't happened. I'm sorry. I guess we just don't like British culture. I will always apologize for Succession because that is one of my favorite shows now. Caleb, is What We Do in the Shadows going to make a top 10 here?
No,
No, I like that show
can
a
go.
lot, but
Mark Hamill was great in the season.
Is he a regular in the
No.
second season?
One
He just
one
shows
episode.
up. One,
Yep.
okay, I was gonna say that's a pretty big get if they got him regularly to show up.
No, it's that show is it's another one of those just smartly funny shows that's just quirky enough in its ways that it's entertaining for sure. But the second season definitely better than the first. I will say that too. I think that was
Caleb, I really, really, really love Schitt's Creek, but does it belong on our top 10 collectively?
There are other things I would fight for before I fought for Schitt's Creek.
Me too.
I'm only
Me
through
too.
season 1, so I can't. I'm
Well,
trying to get caught up,
yeah.
but
It's
And
6 seasons, man. I mean,
we're
it's
talking
gonna
about-
take forever. Yeah, is it
we're
6?
talking
I
about
thought it
the
was 4.
sixth season.
6.
Oh wow,
They're short. They're short.
they are short. Yeah.
Which I don't really like. I watched them all in a row, so I can't really even differentiate the sixth season from the rest, to be honest. So I'm fine.
Okay.
That show is really great. It takes a podunk town and makes them all like the most warmest, accepting people ever, and kind of turns that narrative on its head a little bit. The mission statement of that show is something I really like. Like, embrace everyone regardless of your situation, and be kind and generous, even if even if it doesn't come naturally to you. Where are you guys at on just from the perspective of shows we all watched?
Mm-hmm.
So we've all seen it. We can judge it on its merits. Where is everyone at on The Boys?
I'm okay with cutting The Boys.
I like it, but it's my jam. So I mean,
It's my jam.
I
just would see. I'm just trying to predict, like, when it comes down to us making individual arguments for shows that we really want to have on this list and shows we've all seen and think are just okay.
I think that show has it's half of a really good show, and then half the time it's boring.
You really didn't like The Boys stuff this year very
Mm-mm.
much at all. Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff I would cut ahead of it. That's for sure.
Would you cut Queen's Gambit ahead of it?
Yes.
Really? Okay, let's cut both.
Wow, Queen's Gambit.
I still am going back to, like, why is Pen 15 still on this list?
Okay, go ahead, take it off.
I guess I'm just like,
okay, fine, take it off. He says.
I don't know. I'm just like, is it? I mean, is it in your top 3?
What? Pen 15?
Pen 15?
No.
Okay, then we're about ready to take a top 3 show of mine off, so that's why I'm like, then Pen 15's got to go.
Yeah,
like,
that's fine.
And so, Jason, I'm going to look at you here too. Good Lord Bird, is that a top 3?
Yes.
Okay. Then I'll
Let me make sure. I'm pretty sure.
I just
shit! No, it's 4.
All right.
Can you guys tell me about The Outsider?
Goodbye, Good Lord Bird.
I don't think I know anything about this show.
Okay, well, let me tell you about where I am with I am 8.5 episodes in. So I restarted this show Monday. Jason, I know this one's high on your list, so that is why I restarted The Outsider. He is leaning in as close as possible.
I'm just so nervous right now.
So
just so scared. This could go really well or really poorly for me.
So again, it's 10 episodes. I just could not quite get through it. I just ran out of time. I just ran out of time. So I'm 8.5 episodes in. So I've got 2.5 episodes left.
Sounds like an endorsement to me.
It's an endorsement. At the same time, it's still, if depending on how the show lands, depends on how it lands. I think it still for me falls low top 10 or just outside of it. So considering I've made it 8.5 episodes in, Jason, I don't know how it lands, but that's for me. That's where it's falling right now in my world.
You like it okay?
I like it okay. I think
I'll take it.
that show has pacing issues sometimes, and but I like what they're doing with it. It's just it's like God. There's so many shows this year that took the 10 to 12 episode thing and took it down to 8, and really did it well. And I'm starting to feel like, boy, this show could have really been great if it was 8 episodes.
I think that's fair. Yeah, I do. I think it's probably a little long, but having said that, I really enjoy the premise of that show. Caleb,
Yeah.
it's about a demon walking amongst people.
Oh,
What
okay.
it does is it harvests people and then assumes their likeness. It's not their body because they're
Yeah.
found dead. But when he harvests them, this demon feeds on people, and so
And it's like a weird Latin demon from like
shoot, I could have told you the name for a long time. And
it's
I
La
forgot.
Lucha del something. Yeah, it's something goofy.
It's a luchador.
It is a luchador. Yeah, he wears a mask. It's you can't take his
I
mask
can't
off.
remember.
So that first episode is so slowly paced. Like it hits really hard to start with, and then all of a sudden it just goes into like boring Ben Mendelsohn stuff, and he just can't talk because he's got a speech impediment or something. I don't know what the deal is. This poor guy. But then the second episode rolls around, and the first 5 minutes is slow as shit again. And then as soon as that's over with, I was hooked because oh my god, the thing that happens after that first 5 minutes is like whoa, 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 wait a minute, like maybe I should watch the show.
I'm going to ask the same question to both of you guys. Do you like the show better or not as much as The Undoing?
I like The Undoing better.
I like The Outsider better.
Okay.
But again, like I said, this show is going to be late top 10. It might fall out of my top 10. As of right now, it is out of my top 10. But if it nails the landing, it might move up to like 10 or 9. So let's
not cut it yet.
That's where
if
it's
that's
falling
okay.
in my world.
Yeah.
Let's just have discussions about the other stuff on this list and then come back to it. If it needs cut, we'll cut it. How's that sound, Logan?
That's fine.
I want to eulogize the Good Lord Bird real quick.
Oh, sorry.
I think that show is awesome, and much like the other shows we've talked about, if you guys are looking for S tier television, it's very good.
When you were talking,
it's very, very good.
When you were giving your crown speech a minute ago, I thought you were going to talk about. I thought that you were going to cut Good Lord Bird.
I mean, and I think the Crown is probably. I don't know. Like the body of work on The Crown is hard to ignore because it's been 4 excellent seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of them incredible. And The Good Lord Bird is a mini series that is only coming around once. And it's based on a real person who was a psycho who ran around the South freeing slaves, an abolitionist preacher who really existed, who really broke into the West Virginia Southern troops artillery and had a standoff there. Like all that stuff did happen, and it's just embellished from there. But this show, which hits the theme of all 2020 shows, it's bad to be racist. Don't be racist. And
Wait,
this show, like Lovecraft Country.
Can you clarify?
Don't.
Okay.
Do not, Caleb, be a race. Do not. No. No. It's really good. I mean, it's really good, and it's short too. So, I don't know that. I'm sad to see Good Lord Bird go, but it was number 4 on my list, so I have to say goodbye. Ethan Hawke's great in that show. God, he's good in that show.
Glad to see Ethan Hawke getting work.
Yeah, he plays a total nut job. Oh my god, he's so good at it. He screams 75% of his screen time. Just screams. It's great.
All right, so we're down to a top 15 right now. Do we
Logan,
do we feel like there's a bottom five here? I guess that we can roll out. What?
Where are you on Mythic Quest?
I'm looking at my personal list here. Um,
I like
I
that show a lot.
I like that show a lot too.
There's a lot of stuff on this list.
There's a lot of stuff on this list too, and I guess I'm looking like there's a few things I'd rather see go before that, of even things that I've watched that I would rather see go before Mythic Quest. I wish Jason would have watched this because I think you might even get a kick out of this.
What network is this on?
Apple TV.
Shoot. Okay. This is the dude from It's Always Sunny,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. I didn't watch it.
I also will say the best pandemic special of any show. Mythic Quest.
Dude,
by
it
far.
was so good. That thing was. It was one of the early ones, and somehow they pulled off a really good. Yeah, that show's got a lot of heart, and for something that really, because wasn't it a Ubisoft produced too?
They worked with Ubisoft to get like visual assets and stuff.
Yeah, just for Jason, F. Murray Abraham is in the show.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, he plays a writer, like a sci-fi writer who like had like one really good novel and then like comes in and helps with the narrative of this MMO, but he's just like he's washed up and like he like basically lives off of like a Peabody Award that he won years ago.
They're trying to make George R.R. Martin in this show.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Got it. Sure. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That actually paints the picture just fine. Where are you guys at as far as shows that you both watched? Where are you guys at? Mythic Quest versus Curb. Does Curb stay versus Mythic
They're
Quest?
like right here on my list.
Yeah.
Like,
I would say
and
Curb easily stays over Mythic Quest.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. So are we cutting one of these here, or are we just talking at this point?
Why don't we just do a top 15?
That's fair. I'm okay with that. So if we kind of had to throw like a bottom five here.
We'll put Beef House at 15 and just get it over with.
Aww.
Boo.
Boo. All right. I'm putting it in, locking it in at 15 so far.
I love that show. I think it encapsulates satire in the perfect way. But I realize that it's very strange to compare that to a very serious and dark show, you know?
Blah, 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 blah. Jason, you just finished Dave. So I don't know your thoughts on Dave.
I like Dave a lot.
I like Dave a lot too. So I guess we hadn't heard your thoughts, so that's why I didn't know where to put it.
Dave's really good. Dave did not make my top 10. Dave is just on the outside of my top 10. There wasn't room for it. But I really do like that show. I think that it's kind of hits me on this list as like a 10 through 15 now that the pressure's off of actually cutting shows. That's my opinion, unless you guys want to see it go higher.
That's fine.
That's where I see it too, is somewhere 10 through 15 or
Fine.
11 through 15. I'm not sure if it's 14 or what, but I think that's let's mark it as a potential tier 3 here.
That show is literally laugh out loud funny.
Oh, it's great.
It's funny.
That last episode with the music video or
his pitch before he goes on the Breakfast Club.
Yeah,
man, that is it's something else. It is something else. It's something else. Wow. Whoa. I was watching it and I was like, oh, I see what they were talking about. You know what's interesting about that? You say that just like I have a weird relationship with that show because like Dave is a narcissist and he's an asshole and like I hate him half the time, but he's also really funny. His friends are funny. Everyone around him is funny. The premise of him sitting in a bathtub with one of his best friends and him helping him with his acne problem in the tub is hilarious. Like that the glory hole episode, the milking episode. Oh my god, that is hilarious. But having said that, like I was really upset when he and Allie broke up in episode 9. Like I was like, come on, Dave. Like you're a loser.
Not an asshole for 10 minutes.
Yeah, just let her vent and just be the sounding board for once, you freaking jerk. And then the 10th episode happens and it goes in that really weird direction. Like, did this happen? Did this not happen? What's going on? Is he really volunteering to suck dick in prison? Like, it's crazy. So I kind of had a little bit of a trouble with like, I went from like, oh, that sucks that they're parting ways to it's like the hard turn into that episode, and it's just like this show is all over the place a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's all right. It's kind of a good thing. So
yeah. Okay.
Is the flight attendant a bottom tier show? Since Caleb and I are like,
you guys wanted to cut it earlier, I think that's fair.
Right.
What about where are you guys? I haven't heard you guys talk about it. What's Better Call Saul like this year?
It's the best show on television.
Oh, I honestly had I have no idea what your thoughts are on it.
I think it's actually getting pretty close to Breaking Bad territory with how good it is.
Okay.
I think it's incredible.
Okay. I just needed to know what your thoughts were. Jason, are you feeling the same way, or are you?
I like Better Call Saul a lot. I don't like it that much. I mean, that's Caleb. I'm like there with you. Just I don't have it with Breaking Bad. But I have it like right below that. I wish I could put that in like
because the reason that we remember Breaking Bad so fondly is because of that last season, and so we got to wait for Better Call Saul's last season to compare the two, right? So
I'm trying to paint a picture for Logan, like a show that we've both seen. Logan remembers what it was like to like when Dexter was like maybe the best show running on TV.
Yeah,
that's how I feel about Better Call Saul, like right now. But
it's the best show as a package right now.
Yeah,
like every season's consistently good. It may not be the best show that year, but it's going to be a top 3 show no matter what. Like it's that kind of feel.
Yeah, it's a top 5 show if we're ranking them by top thirds.
5. Okay. All right. I didn't know where to put it.
Is Harley Quinn a top or a bottom 15 show for you guys realistically?
I would say yes.
I don't know. I guess I didn't know what your thoughts were, Jason, on Harley Quinn.
Maybe middle or
I'm fine with either of those. I really am. Since we don't have to have the argument of it staying on or off, like as long as it lands in the second or third tier.
Yeah, it's not going to be first tier for me, and if it was second tier, it would be lower second tier. That's kind of my thought. Season 1, I think, would have been a little higher. I know, Caleb, you're opposite. You think season 2 was better. But
is there anything on the list that either of you don't actually like?
Betty.
For me, it's Lovecraft Country. So
I've not seen Mythic Quest.
Since we like, there's a person in the group that just actually doesn't like it. Does that mean it's bottom tier?
Okay.
For the top 15?
You know what? I shouldn't say I don't like Betty. I just don't like the freaking people in Betty. So I should caveat that a little bit better. I would hate watch that show, if that's a thing. I mean, that's like the show itself is not bad. I just don't like anybody in it. So I shouldn't actively say that. So I would say I'm going to change my thought on Betty. So you actively dislike Lovecraft Country and would like to see it more in a lower tier.
I would like to see that in the bottom third.
I'm not going to kill myself arguing.
I'm not either. That show is a personal taste thing, and I'm not going to.
I like that show, obviously more than Caleb does.
Mm-hmm.
I want to
But
like
I'm
it. It's just I can't. It's just a mess. It's all over the place, and
I think that's why some people like it and why
Yeah.
it doesn't resonate with you. I think it's a mess by design, and
I like the
that
mess.
really doesn't
Yeah.
work for some people. I get
Mhm.
that. It works for me and Logan in this case. In fact, the messier the better for that show for me.
Yeah, I
But
thought it was, the more absurd the better was kind of the way I looked at it. All right. So this would mean whatever we come up with next would be out of a top
yeah. I
10.
guess just to wrap that up, I think that's kind of I guess where we disagree is I think it's a mess, not on purpose, and you think
unintentionally.
I think it's unintentionally a mess,
Hmm.
and you think it is intentionally a mess. I think I disagree
Okay.
with you on that, but
Okay, that's fine. That's my Jordan. I think that's my Jordan Peele apologist in me.
Mm.
To be honest, if it is that way, I probably can't see it because I see other works of his in there, and it's hard for me to not see the same intentions in it.
Yeah.
Hey, also,
Mhm.
don't be a racist.
Also, yeah, that's also a good one. Since I'm kind of feeling like this might be outside of my top 10 here with The Outsider and Caleb not participating in that one, what do we think about it being like a number 11 here?
That hurts, but
I
okay.
know. I don't know. I'm just thinking, unless Caleb, do you have anything else
Well,
on this list that you feel like?
I mean, where do you guys feel like American Dad belongs? 'Cause that,
In the bottom tier,
okay.
because I like it, but I feel like
So you
since we're
think it
doing
should go here?
15,
Okay.
I think it should go in there, yeah, because the
Okay.
rest of these shows I think
I'm doing
are
this then.
okay, perfect. I'm with that. I like that. That's good.
So go,
Is that
yeah, 11, 12, 13, 14.
wait?
Sure.
So
I like that actually.
Wait. So Dave is in the bottom 3,
So do that as
bottom
12.
tier.
Yeah.
I thought okay. I didn't. Why I couldn't remember what I was doing that. All right. I guess we're doing this.
I mean, I'm okay with switching those, but as a starting point, I think that's fine.
Okay.
Put the outsider at 10.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say, you were wanting to cut The Boys earlier. Is that fair for like a number 9 here?
Absolutely.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Caleb.
Caleb wanted
Yeah.
to get rid of it earlier, so
I would be willing to hear arguments to move it down further, but
Me too. But it depends on how high it is on Logan's list. How high is it on your
Right.
list, Logan?
you don't want to know.
Oh, okay. Well, that answers that.
Oh
God, really?
like
I can't wait. I can't wait. Stay tuned for that, everyone. Of course it is.
So
I like that show a lot. I can't myself.
Number 8, I would nominate The Undoing.
Sure. Oh man, hold on.
I'm thinking. I'm like, wait a minute. I want to wait on this.
Do you guys like Harley Quinn more than you like The Undoing? You like Curb
Yes.
more than you like The Undoing?
Yes.
Logan? Curb? Harley Quinn? Really? More than The Undoing?
No, I would say The Undoing is higher. I was thinking more about putting the Queen's Gambit down here at like number 8.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sounds great.
I mean, I like that show, but it's not. I see a lot of other things higher on this list.
I like Queen's Gambit better than Undoing, but I don't feel strongly enough about either of those to care.
Okay, so let's do a
God,
quick.
you guys really like Curb this season, huh? Man.
Curb's
this season
good.
of Curb is this is probably the best season of Curb.
It was really
interesting.
Good.
Okay.
He opened up a rival coffee shop because he didn't like the way the scones were made at the other place, and he got into a fight with Cup of Joe, with Joe
Mocha
from
Joe.
Mocha Joe, yeah, Mocha Joe.
There's an episode where John Hamm is doing a character study. He's playing a person that's very close to Larry David. So the whole episode, John Hamm is just following Larry David around, just like mimicking him, and it is the funniest.
It's so good.
All right, I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, okay.
Because you could
right away.
You could probably watch this most recent season of Curb without ever seeing a single season ahead of this. Just knowing that,
as long as you know who Larry David is. Then,
and because you just need to know that at some point him and his wife got separated. That's it. because it was even like a few years between this season and the previous season, right, Caleb? Like they
Yeah,
took
I
some
think you're
time
right.
off, and yeah, this season like it gets into the whole like sexual harassment stuff. Like he accidentally touches a coworker, and it turns into this whole mess that just goes throughout the whole season. It's so good.
Okay.
Curb's really good
I'm kind
this
of
year.
excited. That might be I've taken a few things from this list, mostly anime, Caleb, but that I'm I might get to right away.
What
Uh,
about Mythic Quest at 7?
okay. I was gonna say either Mythic Quest or Harley Quinn at 7, but I think
Um, yeah, I like Harley Quinn better than Mythic Quest. So if we do 7-6, I'm totally fine with that.
Gosh, you guys really think that Harley Quinn is 6 on our list? Wow, really?
Well, maybe not, but
I think it maybe is. I don't know.
That seems like something that has risen a little higher than
put it
maybe.
there for now. We can rearrange this
Okay,
when we do it. That's as high as it's going, though. I think we can all agree on that.
it just seems like I like that show, but I mean as horrifying as deranged alcoholic Jim Gordon is to me, and just how unsettling and upsetting it is to me for some reason. Uh, it seems like it snuck a little higher on our list.
it's a
I just want to make a
it's
note.
higher than it is on my personal list.
Oh,
Me
then it needs to.
too.
Yeah, it needs to drop then.
It's got to go lower.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll figure
But
this out
we'll
then.
get there. We'll get there.
Okay. All right. Let's. Yeah. Okay. So should this?
All right, where does
I have Mythic Quest higher than Harley Quinn on my list.
So switch those.
Switch them. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that makes more sense.
I'm still want to reevaluate that just to
Okay.
be
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Okay.
Where are we at on the Undoing? Like, is the Undoing a number 5 for us? Is it higher
It's got to be a 5 for at least now. I don't see it going higher than whatever.
compared to how
the
you
other
guys
stuff
feel
that's
about
left.
Curb? Because we've got.
I would say
Let's see.
either it's got to be either Betty or Undoing here at 5.
Okay.
Like I would.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, Betty's
I
going to go
pitch-
down a little bit farther, but
Can I pitch Undoing at 5 and Betty at 4? Can I pitch that? Is that okay?
Caleb,
I
what
like
are your?
that.
You like
Yeah.
that?
Do you
Uh-huh.
like that? Logan, are
Okay.
you willing to play ball to that extent?
I'm willing to play ball as long as something else. I don't even know if I don't know what I got to negotiate with here because a lot of my top 5 stuff is already gone. So.
Wait, no.
Wait, what are you doing here?
Better Call Saul.
Oh,
is
sorry,
number
I got it in the wrong spot.
4.
And the other one's wrong too.
Oh.
You got Ted Lasso.
Oh, I was off by 1. I'm sorry. I was all flustered. So we were down to 3 shows here. We've got Better Call Saul, Curb Your Enthusiasm, and Ted Lasso for the top 3.
All right, let's do Ted Lasso at 1, Saul at 2, Curb at 3.
I'm okay with that.
Logan?
I've given up so much stuff, and I guess it's just gonna.
What do you want? What do you want to lose? What do you want to move then?
There's, I mean,
I've given up stuff too. For the record.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
My favorite shows are not on this list.
Oh, none of my. Yeah, as to say, like, I mean, yeah. So, all right, let's do. Yeah, let's do it then. That's fine. So, Curb is 3. Better Call Saul is at 2, and Ted Lasso at 1.
Ted Lasso at 1
because it's incredible and it's the best thing ever.
I'm okay with that as a collective. Actually,
that show is incredible.
I just find it more odd that somehow our 2 and 3 shows, and this is, I mean, and Jason, this goes for you too, that one of us didn't watch our number 2 or number 3 shows.
But I'm willing to hear the arguments for those, at least because 2 out of 3 of us have seen him, and the fact that I can't make the same argument for The Crown or The Good Lord Bird.
Mm-hmm.
The way that I mean, at least wise you watch The Outsider, Logan, or else I'd be in the same position there. Like I can't, and you don't like Betty. Caleb doesn't like Lovecraft Country. Like
I was willing to negotiate Betty up here just because I don't like the characters in Betty does not mean that show is not good.
I think that's a very mature thing for you to say.
I think if there was a Betty season 2 rolled around, I would somehow end up watching it.
Leastwise, they're not long.
I think that's not me hating a show. And I'm so far behind I couldn't even start to watch Better Call Saul at this point.
You absolutely should.
I know, but that would
If you
literally
came
mean
into
me starting with Breaking Bad, right? I mean,
no.
there's
Well,
Or you could wait for the final season of Saul to come out and then watch it all in chronological order.
yeah,
start with
Logan,
Better Call Saul and then go into Breaking Bad.
if
Yeah.
you came into Tony 2021 and said, "Sorry guys, I didn't watch anything because all I was watching was Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad," I think Jason and I would both be like, "That's fine, that's acceptable."
No, and in fact, we'd put them at 1 and 2.
Yeah, we would just be like, we're done here then.
No, yeah, because Breaking Bad's the best television show of all time, and I'm not the only person that.
Oh, I
thinks
know.
that.
Yeah.
I also think that.
So if we look at this real quick,
yeah.
Logan, I feel like I'm reeling as well.
Mhm.
I mean, my favorite shows of the year are not on here for the most part,
Mhm.
but let's look at the order. I feel pretty good about. How about we swap Dave and Harley Quinn and call it a day? What do you think? Huh? No? Yeah?
I
No?
would be willing to move up Dave
Move
to the
Dave
top
up
10.
to number 9. I'm okay with that.
But what moves down and out of the top 10?
Well, just
then?
everything else moves down a spot.
I like Dave a lot.
So move it up above, right between Harley Quinn and Queen's Gambit. Just drag the row.
Yeah, I know.
There you go.
I got to redo my
And
numbering.
let's just see how that looks.
Let's move Dave above Harley Quinn.
Oh, that went one too many.
Yeah, I'm okay. That's fine.
I think I'm okay
They're
with-
right on the same level for me. So
I'm okay with this.
I am too. The 15 saved us from an arduous debate, I think.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I think I'm okay with the way this is ordered right now.
Yeah.
I like how Dave somehow shot from 12th to 6th and
I think we were all kind of looking for reasons to move stuff down at first. So
I don't. If I look at everything, I'm just in my head. I like it more than this. Like it more than that. Like it more than this. Like it more than that. And Harley Quinn was like the thing that I kept coming back to, where I could raise Dave up against everything until that point, and then I had to stop. Yeah, I haven't seen Mythic Quest, but I definitely like the Undoing more than I like Dave. And I think if Harley Quinn is in our top 10, I think 9 is reasonable.
8 actually, but
Oh, sorry. Yeah, 8. I think The Boys being at 10 makes sense because I don't hate The Boys. I definitely don't like it as much as you guys, but I don't hate it. I wish we could switch maybe The Outsider and The Boys, but I realize that if it's really high on Logan's list, then that's probably not fair. Well, I don't know. Logan, all right. We're going to get into this
are
anyway.
we ready to do this?
Yeah, where is let's let that
well,
inform the decision.
All I have to do is click this sheet over here and we see my
nice.
top list.
Look at that.
No, we shouldn't do that yet because
Okay.
there could be unscripted stuff on there too, right?
No, I just did scripted. So
okay.
I literally did scripted.
There's definitely unscripted stuff on
mine too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's consolidated on
okay.
mine.
Oh.
But I can just omit those as I talk about them.
Interesting. Okay. let me go through and I can. Yeah, I definitely didn't do that.
So should we just? Well, okay. So you guys are that's the only thing left is The Boys versus The Outsider here.
I'm curious where Logan is, and I am on The Outsider, as far as top 10, and then maybe you're the tiebreaker, Caleb. There, depending upon if it's on your list at all, if it's on your top 20.
Is it on your top 20, Caleb?
The Boys?
Yeah.
No. It probably wouldn't make my top 30 or 40, to be honest.
Wow. Okay.
Having a top 10 show that isn't in Caleb. Okay.
All right. well, but The
There's
Outsider
stuff
isn't
on
even
this
in.
list that I think is just okay, but you guys are passionate about, so that's fine.
Um,
And it's hard because Logan hasn't finished The Outsider, so he could hate it or love it. Who knows?
yeah, and I'm close to the end. I mean, it's just.
Because I'm willing to tell you where The Outsider is on my list if you're willing to tell me where The Boys is on your list.
Yep. Ready? Hold up your fingers. 3, 2, 1.
Fuck. All right. Logan, for those of you listening,
Oh,
Logan
sorry.
held up a 2, and I held up a 3. So
Yep.
So I think it's got to stay where it is then, because I'm
Yep.
kind of indifferent on both.
okay,
So
that's
All
where
right.
that's where it stays.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So should we run through our top 15?
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. At number 15 is the Beef House. Or no, sorry, just Beef House.
Yeah.
It wasn't the Beef
Beef.
House. Number 14, The Flight Attendant. Number 13, Lovecraft Country. Number 12, American Dad. Number 11, The Outsider. Number 10, The Boys. Number 9, The Queen's Gambit. Number 8, Harley Quinn. Number 7, Dave. Number 6, Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet. Number 5, The Undoing. Number 4, Betty. Number 3, Curb Your Enthusiasm. Number 2, Better Call Saul. And number 1, and there wasn't even a discussion, Ted Lasso.
Because it's amazing.
Yeah, I kind of felt like I was worried that when you start Caleb when you started just saying like Better Call Saul is the best show ever, and I was like, oh shit, like I'm
well,
gonna
I
have to
mean,
really negotiate
obviously,
for
I
Ted
would,
Lasso here.
yeah, I would obviously put Better Call Saul above that, but this is not my list. This is a collective list. So
All right. Do you guys want to? I'll read off my list just because
Well,
I wanted.
Or do
wanna-
we want to do unscripted here?
I don't think it'll take very long for us to do.
I'm fine with that.
I would say I have very little even on this list. I
Okay,
don't know
cool.
why, but
Yeah,
we could probably, we were even doing a top 10 or are we just doing a top 5?
Sure. Top 5's fine.
Okay, because
Yeah,
Jason, you only
just-
have 5 here.
these can be some quick cuts.
All
here.
right,
cut,
Caleb, you're
cut those 1,000-pound sisters. Cut that easy
Okay.
cut.
okay. Gone.
Cut Floor is Lava unless you
Gone.
have a
No, that show is bad. Go.
Cut Jeopardy. It wasn't as good as I hoped it was going to be.
I was very entertained by that show.
Yeah, but it wasn't like I wish it would have gone longer. I guess.
Yeah, I
It
just
was
wish
kind
that
of
Brad would
a
have not
blowout.
sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about that?
Does Inside the NBA count?
I don't. That's why I put a question mark by it. No, but it's a great show.
That's a great show.
I kind of wish it did. But
It's
all right.
I mean it's unscripted.
okay.
Like
Sure. It's fine.
Terrace House Tokyo cut. That's ended up being really sad because they had to stop the show because of the pandemic, and then shortly after, one of the participants committed suicide.
oh nice.
Yeesh.
So I don't know if Terrace House will
Yikes.
ever be back or not after that. Eric Andre cut. He's hilarious, but not for everybody.
No.
I'm everybody.
Curse of Oak Island. They are on season 8 and they still haven't found jack shit. Cut it. Spoilers there, I guess.
Mhm.
I think that's it for the quick cuts from me.
Okay.
Oh, the circle. Cut the circle. Yeah.
All right.
Didn't even catch that was there. It was entertaining, but it's not very good.
Okay. I will go through and make a couple cuts here real fast. I'm going to cut Penn and Teller Fool Us. I like Penn and Teller, but I think their other shows, like on Showtime, were much better. Because this one is actually just a magic show, and the other ones were more documentary type shows.
Jason, I thought did you not watch the Aaron Hernandez?
I did. It can
Okay.
go.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
go.
sorry. I missed that. Sorry. I did watch it.
It's fine. It's not bad, but
Yeah, it's just not compared to the rest of these.
yeah.
I'm actually surprised. I don't know. I guess that I thought maybe at one point you guys would have watched My Next Guest Needs No Introduction. This is the Dave Letterman show on Netflix. He's had a lot of good guests, and he gets a lot out of them. But if you guys haven't watched this, then I'm not going to sit here and fight for it. But if you get a chance, they are rather informative and entertaining because of the personalities that he does get on there. I mean, obviously you can skip people you may not be interested in, but I had no interest in watching the one about Lizzo, but she is extremely talented and as a musician beyond just pop music that she does, and getting to know who she was and where she came from and the multi talents that she does have was eye opening and nice to see. So just it's kind of, Dave Letterman gets a lot out of people. So even at his age, so um, I guess I was the only one that watched this, but the last ride was the Undertaker documentary on WWE
Oh, I was wondering
Network.
what that was.
Uh, Good, but and I'm actually I would hope at some point in time you guys maybe find a way to watch this, just because who the Undertaker is and all the players, and sometimes WWE is better at this type of stuff than they are at their own product, because the show was much better done from, especially getting to hear from a guy who has never spoken a real word in his life, and all of a sudden he is now talking at you for 6 hours about everything that he's done in his career, uh, getting to know who that guy is it's weird. Like,
Interesting.
yeah, it's
I'm
interesting to
actually
see.
interested in that. I had not heard of it, to be honest.
Yeah, it came out oddly enough. It was so there was The Last Dance and The Last Ride were on simultaneously.
Oh,
So they were actively competing against each other, which was just dumb.
yeah.
So
Wait, are there really two shows on this list that none of us watched?
I need to put an F next to I'll be gone to the dark. Into the dark, sorry.
Well,
Gone
we
in
have
the dark.
Great British Baking Show and The Social Dilemma, and then no one has it marked.
my wife watched the Great British Baking Show here and there, but I never watched it, so goodbye. I don't know why The Social Dilemma's on here. That was a documentary that was on Netflix, right?
Yeah, I didn't watch
I
that.
I
didn't
don't know
watch
what
it.
that is.
From what I understand, a lot of people watched it and then they were like, "You mean Facebook makes money off of my data?" And
Oh God,
it was like, "Yeah, where have you been?"
that's kind of their whole thing.
And so yeah, people watched it and were like, "My eyes are open." It was like, "Yeah, have you? Wow, okay,
Let's not get into that.
yeah,
That applies on.
a lot of levels."
Yeah, it's not beyond Facebook.
Yeah. What
We can get rid of High Score.
what is that?
It is a video game documentary on Netflix.
Mhm.
It's very base level though, so you
Oh,
probably
I
won't.
did watch this. It was very base level. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it's
Uh,
fine. It's totally fine, but it's like
yeah.
I didn't learn a whole lot new
No,
from it.
I
It's
was
just
like,
kind of
there
a
was
Is Gersman in that? Is that or is that the other thing that I'm
no.
thinking of?
no.
Okay, all right.
I think
Never mind.
he's working on something that's supposed to air on USA.
Okay, all
It's
right.
something with
Sorry, I'm
like the
confused. I'm confusing that
Genesis.
then.
Yeah, no, he was in something. He was in something this year too. It was like I don't remember. It was like Atari or I don't remember.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but I know what you
Not
mean.
this.
Um.
So did you want to take the last ride off?
Oh,
Or
sorry. Yeah. I mean, how many do we have left here? I mean, I just didn't know if it should make a top five here or not. Probably. There's 8 here. Um. All right.
Jason, you watched The Vow?
I guess The Vow could go. It depends on how much Logan liked The Last Ride. The Vow, I think, is one of those shows that critics really like. The Vow. It is eye-opening, like Logan, to use Logan's phrase, familiar, but like horrific kind of way. Um, the way that I don't know, it's very good. Like I would say I like The Vow more than I like McMillions, but we all watched McMillions.
Yeah.
But the way that confidence men or women can manipulate people to the level that this guy did is like, it is like to the point where, like I said when we were talking about it, you look at these people, you're like, how could you be so stupid? And these aren't stupid people.
Mm-hmm.
These are actors, like known actors. with careers. These are musicians. These are creative people who have made a living with with their with their intelligence, with their IQ, and this guy somehow made them join a cult. And it is like, it's shocking. It really is. But I think it's great. But
you said we all watched McMillions, but did any of us actually like McMillions?
It was fine.
I like it better than McMillions. I think McMillions is okay. My trouble with McMillions is like it's straight fire for 3 episodes and then
Yeah.
it's okay for the next 3.
Right. Yeah, it was so good those first 3 episodes, and then the last 2 or 3 were just turds.
I'm sorry. The reason why I'm laughing is because like I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'd rather keep Tiger King on here than I would McMillions.
Let's get rid of McMillions.
So, okay.
Well, I guess I'm
I
just
don't
sitting
care.
here. So here's my thought. I guess we have 8. We literally have 8 shows on here. Let's just rank them
Rank
at this
'em?
point.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
Sure.
okay. So let's go. All right. I'm gonna go 8 McMillions. I mean, because I just don't care. I'm willing to go 7 for The Last Ride. You want to do The Vow at 6?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I don't really, because I don't know what you're thinking on Jason or Caleb. You've got How To with John Wilson and Top Chef. Top Chef's Top Chef,
so to
right?
put Top Chef at 5 probably.
Okay.
He got it into the top 5.
Yeah, it was such a great like time for that season to come out because it was right as all sports were canceled. So it was like my sports substitute for a few weeks.
I get it. Okay, can we put professional Mortal Kombat on this list while we're at it?
It's unscripted.
It is. Damn it.
Have you guys heard of How To with John Wilson?
I don't even know what it is.
No, tell me about it.
So this is a show on HBO. John Wilson's a comedian that worked on Nathan For You. And Nathan Fielder is also involved with this show. So it's got like the tone is kind of similar, but this show is basically like John Wilson will pick just a random topic and explain to you what it is through the lens of New York City. So the episode titles are something stupid like how to put up scaffolding. But it's not literally like he's not telling you how to put up scaffolding. He's telling you like the history of scaffolding in New York City and why it's important and how different people use scaffolding today and why it's a problem for some people. And it basically just shows you New York City as a character, basically. It's really, really good. There's only 6 episodes, and the 6th episode ends with the pandemic just starting. So like the first time that it's brought up is the whole episode he's trying to make food for his neighbor, and he goes to the grocery store and he's like, oh, I just need to pick up a few ingredients so I can make this food. And it's right when the pandemic started. So he's like, I just got to find the end of the line so I can get in line and pay for this stuff. And he literally walks like 4 blocks down the street because the line for the grocery store is that long. Like it's hard to explain, but it's showing you the lens of the city and the people that are in the city through a topic that's not necessarily what the show is about, if that makes any sense at all. It's one of those things where you're way better off just seeing an episode of it.
I just added it to my list.
It's
on HBO.
Phenomenal. It's really, really well done.
I watch it. So what do you feel like it should be? Are you like really passionate about it that it should be super high?
I think it should be higher than Tiger King.
Okay.
But other
Fine.
than that,
sure.
I think the other ones are the other 3 here. I think or the other 2 are. So what if we put Tiger King at 4, How To at 3?
Okay.
And then we have the discussion of I'll Be Gone in the Dark versus The Last Dance.
That sounds good to me.
Okay, discussion's over.
I'm totally okay with that.
That's fine.
I mean, I'm just...
The Last Dance is very, very good.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to have a hard time arguing like for anything other than The Last Dance at this point. That was appointment television. So...
Yeah. I really, 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 really like I'll Be Gone in the Dark, but I agree with that.
Yeah. Unscripted was a little lighter this year. And maybe that was pandemic related. But yeah,
I'm glad we separated this though, because
Yeah.
that way we didn't have to have some really tough conversations about where the Last Dance fits into that list we just looked at,
Right.
where we can just give the Last Dance its due.
yeah, it was the best. Yeah, I think it really was just the best unscripted show. I mean, they took a long time to get that thing ready, and because I mean, when they announced that thing, it was like a year and a half in the making, and then for them to give it to us early during the beginning
When
of the
we
game.
needed it most.
Yeah, I mean, because it was supposed to air after the finals in June, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll start this up March 24th or whatever day that was." It was like the
Yeah.
greatest gift that we could have, and do 2 episodes a week. I mean, you know, Jason, you and I and another friend of ours sat on Zoom calls and just watched it like it was. And just like wow, wow, and then like I'd watch it again just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Like that was
I would find myself like in pieces watching it again the
Mhm.
next week. Not like clicking
no
play, but like it's on or something and there's
Mhm.
no sports. So like, oh, I guess I'll watch this week's Last Dance again.
Yeah, I would throw it
Like
on and just have it on, like doing
I
something
will
else around
say,
the house.
I will say as an adult with a brain, a critical thinker, which is almost a curse
Mhm.
at this point in my life rather than a blessing.
Mhm.
The knowing how it was produced and knowing that MJ's people had full creative control, no matter what that director says or not, like
Mhm.
is a little bit not a bummer, but it makes me feel like I look at I'll Be Gone in the Dark and see it more as like a 1A
Mhm.
rather than like a full landslide because The Last Dance is great and it gave me everything I needed to at the time, but it could have been even more, but it never would have come out without MJ's stamp of
Yeah.
approval. And he probably felt like there was enough criticism of him as a leader and as a person that's as far as we were going to go. We weren't going to get into, his kids and his wife and stuff like that, where there was probably room for that in this documentary, but that's okay. I mean, greatest player of all time. We can get a love letter to him in a 10-part series, and that's still fine. I mean, it's still fine for me.
You did say something that kind of sparked me there when you said it's a good thing we separated them out so that we don't have to compare The Last Dance and figure out where it fits in. Should we separate more? Because it is really awkward comparing some of these things.
So next year, do you want to do drama comedy and
I don't know if drama comedy
unscripted?
like some there's so many things on the border of that.
Because then all of a sudden we're awarding The Martian for comedy, and I just don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I
So
mean? I don't know how to
I
solve
guess
that problem either. I'm just,
the only thing I can think of is half hour.
but that doesn't really work.
I mean,
Right.
Betty's a half hour.
Right.
Like that's
Yeah.
kind of falls into a weird.
And I think Betty is hilarious in spots, but I think that show has, for me, what I love about Betty is the heart of that show. That reminds me. Do you guys want to go over our top tens real quick?
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
we doing that in another time?
But yeah, just
No, we
something
can-
just
yeah.
something to think about throughout the year to see if we can maybe separate them out a little bit more.
I'm okay with that. Right now, I don't know how to solve that problem, Caleb,
Right.
but I'm okay thinking about it.
All right. Do you guys have? How do you guys have your top 10 lists? Are they in the
Mine are
drive?
collective.
So, well, no, I
on a
meant like
personal list. No, it's
Okay.
on a personal list. Do you want me
Okay.
to copy it over into our drive?
maybe, and I can show
Share
it.
it.
I'll share it.
Yep,
So
sure.
since I have
Sure.
mine already up, I can go ahead and share mine. So
Okay.
I had to quickly redo it because I did not include The Last Dance in it. So I threw mine in, which I don't know if that's going to change our collective top 10 now because that moved the boys out of the
Oh,
number
no.
2 spot. And now it's tied with The Outsider, or it's tied with The Outsider. So we can move that. We can change it. I didn't realize that was a scripted, unscripted thing. So we can go back.
Let me take the temperature of the room here. How big of a prick is Jason if he asks for them to switch on our arbitrary, meaningless top 10 list? Like, what kind of dickhead would ask for that at this
All
point?
right, you get it. I'll let it go because Caleb seems to just actively hate the boys this year, so it's
Not
go.
actively hate, but
You're not thrilled about it, so it's going. It's gone. The Outsider is now a top 10 show, and The Boys is no longer a top 10 show. All right, that has been a thing. It has been done. Uh, I'll wait till you guys get a chance to.
I'm trying.
Yeah, I'm gonna scroll
I think
down
I might
here.
have to be sheet 4 because I can't figure out how to change my. Oh wait, rename.
That's fine.
There, Jason. Okay, there we go. And
oh, did mine not actually?
paste. All right, it worked.
Okay. All right. I will start with mine. So these were shows that just didn't quite make the cut, but so I ranked them 20 wise here, or in the 20s, I guess. I don't know. I made a bunch of weird edits and moved a bunch of things around. So here, let me get to that point. So, all right, I've got The Simpsons at number 20, Normal People at 19, Perry Mason at 18, The Good Place at 17, Beef House. Beef House is somehow 16, and so is Saved by the Bell. So something got awry there. So it is tied for 16th with Saved by the Bell.
That would only happen to Beef House.
I know, right? The Beef Boys got a hold of that 16 again. Little Fires Everywhere at 15. What We Do in the Shadows at 14. The Mandalorian at 13. Dave at 12. American Dad at 11. The Queen's Gambit at 10. Harley Quinn at 9. Curb Your Enthusiasm at 8. Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet at 7. The Undoing at 6. The Flight Attendant at 5. Lovecraft Country at 4. The Boys at 3. The Last Dance at 2. And Ted Lasso at 1. Any surprises there?
I am surprised that Beef House actually made it as a mention. Other than that, no.
I am too. I misread your interpretation of Beef House, so I'm surprised. Just going into tonight, I'm surprised by that.
Mhm.
Harley Quinn, I think, landed in the exact spot in our top 10. I
Did
think
it?
after all is said and done. I think is that 9 for us?
It was
No,
8.
did Harley?
It was
8.
8.
Okay, yeah, okay. I feel like that. I'm surprised Curb is so low on your list because Curb is 3 on ours. So I was surprised that it was that low on your list.
But
to have it rise to
when you look
3.
at everything above it, I mean, you guys were cutting that stuff out of the top 10. So I had to have something left to argue for. I mean, not really argue for, but it was high enough on my list that I couldn't push Mythic Quest because you didn't really watch. I mean,
we'll just have better taste next time.
Boo. Bad
right.
podcast partner.
I know, right?
No, I like your list.
It makes sense for me.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, there it is. I mean, the MJ at 2 and the Boys at 3. That makes sense. And Ted Lasso's. I mean, you gotta be an idiot to not have Ted Lasso that high. I mean,
right. So it's kind of, I mean, that's when I originally was looking at this. When I sent this to you guys, I was going to do just 3 tiers, and that's what I think I was talking about was there was going to be there was going to be an MVP, which was going to be Ted Lasso, and then ordering everything else, I was just going to do like an all TV first team, so five shows, a second team of 5 shows, and a third team of 5 shows. So I was only going to have 16. So Beef House was going to make the cut in the all TV third team. So, all right. Well, let's see. So, this is okay. All right. Who wants to go next, Jason or Caleb?
I don't care.
All right, Caleb, you're second down on the in the windows, so you'll go next.
Okay. My top 10 are ordered, and then my 11 through 20 are not.
Okay.
So in that bottom category, it is Betty Brockmeyer, which I think I actually forgot to put on the list.
Yeah, you did.
Whoops. Oh well. I'll Be Gone in the Dark, Joe Pera Talks with You, Moonbase 8, Mythic Quest, Primal, Schitt's Creek, Queen's Gambit, and What We Do in the Shadows. And then from 10 to 1, it is Harley Quinn, Top Chef, The Good Place, Dave, Beef House, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Pen 15, The Last Dance, Ted Lasso, and Better Call Saul.
Yeah, look at Ted rising and The Last Dance rising.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Curb a little bit higher than Logan's, but not.
It's still, when I'm looking at these, and if you were to really put numbers to this, none of this now makes sense.
Well, my list will F
That's
it up
kind of the
too.
whole.
I know the point, but it's just
Yeah.
more of like a
Harley
boy.
Quinn also near the just shaves in the top 10. Harley Quinn's probably going to wind up being the one that aligns. I
Like the
bet
only one that's
closest.
truly aligns, yeah.
Yeah,
Otherwise, the rest of
yeah.
them aren't really aligning here. All right, well, Jason, let's hit your list up.
Oh shoot! I'm sorry. 21. I apologize.
No, you have
McMillions
22.
Oh, do I?
Yeah, because there's
Oh,
no header
Jesus.
on this.
Oh, I'm sorry. McMillions in The Vow. So get out of here, good HBO docs. You were good, but you weren't that good. You can't beat Yellowstone. I mean, what are you supposed to do? You just can't overcome Yellowstone. Bosch at 19, Perry Mason at 18, 17, Lovecraft Country, which I was kind of sweating before we talked, so I'm glad that this took the pressure off. 16, Queen's Gambit. 15, American Dad. 14, The Undoing. 13, I'll Be Gone in the Dark. 12, Schitt's Creek. 11, Dave. 10, uh, I Know This Much Is True, making the top 10. 9, Homeland. 8, The Plot Against America. 7, The Last Dance. 6, The Crown. Shocker. 5, Better Call Saul. 4, The Good Lord Bird. 3, The Outsider. 2, Ted Lasso, and Betty edging out Ted Lasso.
Wow.
At number
Wow,
1.
I did not see this as your number one show. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
thought
didn't
it was
either.
in your like top 5, but not a number one. That's why I was.
I think Betty is artistically the best TV show I've seen in like 5 or 6 years. Maybe since Breaking Bad went off the air. I think Betty speaks to like people that enjoy film snobbery, editing, music, acting, directing. That it's got all that bullshit that like film school nerds like gush over. It's just got all that shit, and it it does it in a really, for me, a really amazing way. And I think this is something that is new and underrepresented in TV shows. And I think there's a group of kids out there that watched this show and it was revelatory for them because they now no longer feel like they're strange or alone. And I think that's important.
You ever watch Euphoria?
Yeah, I watched Euphoria last year. It made me really uncomfortable.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I
Betty
didn't
did
really
not.
like Euphoria. I don't know why, but
I've never watched
Betty
Euphoria either. I just was wondering
Betty and
how.
Euphoria are
or-
cousins in that way.
Okay,
But
that's what I was
Euphoria is an
wondering.
hour-long drama, and Betty is a little lighter. Like, there's no Farouk in Euphoria. There's no someone takes shrooms and pets the pet store floor for an hour. Like there's none of that in Euphoria. Euphoria is like drugs are bad, sex is bad, don't OD and die early. Like they're different shows. Betty is more hopeful. Betty is brighter. Betty is fresher, while still tackling some tough subject matter. And it's like, this is a weird comparison, but Betty feels like The Shield to me, which is one of my favorite shows of all time. Betty doesn't hold your hand. Like if you were a fly on the wall of these kids' lives, like that's how they would talk, that's how they would act, and that's the brilliance of Betty. It does not feel produced in those quiet moments. It feels like the way a 16-year-old kid would talk to another 16-year-old kid or their dealer or someone that's treating them like shit or an adult that's mistreating them. Like there's something very genuine about Betty that I don't think I've seen in TV shows a long time. It just has that very like, doesn't feel produced in the way that almost every other TV show does. Having said that, just barely beat Ted Lasso because Ted Lasso is just the good vibes, baby. Ted Lasso.
I did not expect Ted Lasso to be that high on our list. But
Really?
But look at our list. Look at our list.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
collectively, you know what I mean.
It was the show that was consistently at the top. It was the only show that was consistently in the top 3. I mean, yeah, you guys both had it at 2 and I had it at 1.
You needed Ted Lasso this year. We needed him, and we got
Yeah.
him. Ah, this show just feels like
Mhm.
I don't know, like a warm blanket.
I mean,
It's just the best.
you look through our top five of all of our top fives, and I mean, Jason, yours, you have Ted Lasso is there. Caleb, you and I have Ted Lasso and The Last Dance in our top five, and otherwise, none of our top fives have any of the same stuff. Then that's it.
Yeah.
Like there's,
Unlike games this year, which was just like we had basically the same lists.
yeah, it was almost the same top fives, just slightly modified a little bit. I mean, you didn't have Hades in your top five, but that was, I mean, yeah, it was very similar. Where TV is all over the board.
Yeah.
I think just with TV, it's just there's obvious taste differences there where we have a lot of similar tastes in a lot of other things, but things just that art form hits people a little bit differently.
Yep.
So it'd be interesting to see how 2021 rolls around for TV.
Yeah, I think what's interesting to me is that in 2020, with the pandemic stuff, it really didn't feel like it hit TV that hard as far as a quality standpoint.
Mm-mm.
Maybe a quantity standpoint, but definitely not a quality because there was still a lot of really, really good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be curious in 2021 if we get the after effect of that,
That
of the
could be.
productions not being
Yeah.
able to keep up, or
I bet we do.
Yeah, I
if
think there was a yeah.
if places need to like do certain like take precautions or do workarounds for stuff that might crop up more.
But at the same time, like I've heard that I read a story about Barry that obviously they didn't do any production this year, but they have the next two seasons written.
Yeah.
So there's things like that are, I think, writing. People are probably getting some good writing done right now, but putting the production efforts together is what's taking, the
Which
higher effort.
which could be harder on us because if that means that like let's say holiday 2021 like a bunch of shows drop around Thanksgiving and then like 2022 is just like this dump of television like
Right.
oh god we're gonna
Mm.
like hey Caleb, you think your list is long now. What if what if you actually have to stop watching bad sitcoms to watch like everything that's supposedly good?
No, I'll drop the good stuff first.
Yeah, yeah, we all know
you
that's
do
gonna
you,
happen.
boo. You stay true to you.
He's got to stick up with season 3 of the Unicorn. I mean, that's just
Right.
there's seasons
Hey,
8 of the Gold.
Season 2.
Well, no, but next fall will be season 3.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I mean. Season 3 of the Unicorn is going to start. Season 9 of the Goldbergs. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, all those things are just going to hit you all at once. So yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Yeah, because they're all going to have to play the game too. Of okay, well, if everybody releases everything at once, then stuff's going to get lost. So those production companies are going to look out and go, all right, well, how do we truly, filter, out, sprinkle it out enough to where people are interested, but not get lost in the shuffle.
I don't know, man. I feel like they already had to do that before. Even during the pandemic. I still feel like they had to pick their spots.
Yeah.
Because stuff still just gets lost. We were going through this today and still asking each other, like, what the hell is that?
Right.
That sounds awesome. And as much as we talked about stuff this year, there were things on this list that we were like, wait, where? What? I'm asking Caleb what network everything's on. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Well, the good news is I don't think there's really anything that new that's really started that's that good either, right, Caleb? I mean, you've been watching every new pilot, and you've narrowed it down to what, 2 things that are worth watching?
The Great North and WandaVision are really about it so far. So
yeah, I assume you watched episode 3 of WandaVision.
Yeah, and it wasn't as good as the first 2.
Oh, really?
Mm-mm.
I liked it still.
I liked it, but I don't know.
Save it for 2021.
Okay. All right.
I feel like it's just,
Fair.
I need somebody else to talk about WandaVision with because it's so wild.
I'm just teasing.
No, it's just it's a mystery show. So
I liked it better when it was just flat out like old timey sitcom, like almost parody. I liked it better when it was that. Now they're adding in a whole bunch of more like mystery layers and stuff, which I'm like,
but at the same time, that mystery layer they only added in the last 2 minutes of the show.
There's more stuff than that.
Well, but the really like
I-
questioning a part of it.
Yeah,
There's a lot of stuff going on, but at the same time,
there's a lot of little stuff like the brand on a guy's watch and like stuff like that you like. They kind of hint at as they're going through.
Yeah.
So
I wish the commercials were a little bit better.
yeah,
The first one was really good, and then the last two have been like, oh, like they could be better with this. I don't know. It's still good. It's just
Yeah. Mhm.
that's for sure. But anyway, all right. Well, anything else for TV?
We did it.
We did it. We did our TV show.
Congratulations, boys. TV show of the year, Ted Lasso. Come in, take a bow. We'll give you your mastery, your unlocky.
Yeah, you're unlucky.
You're unlucky. It's like a little key.
If we're doing master of unlocking, it's MO. So you're Molly. No, that's bad. No,
No,
can't do
yeah,
that.
no. Okay. Give him a Molly. Give him a mastery, a Jill. Give him a Jill.
Maybe,
No?
yeah, a berry. I don't know, like a just straight up like a lockpick. Maybe that's what it is. It's just a. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I will say I've been with something with work this week. I've had to deal with a lot of memorandums of understanding, and that is an MOU, and that has been
Nice.
very hard to deal with this week.
That's awesome.
So, well, congratulations, Ted Lasso. And as we should sign off, I think we should say, see you later.